a rapid digital transformation of the built environment sector. We have artificial intelligence, robots, drones, augmented reality, virtual reality being increasingly figured into the entire construction process. And as a result, we are also delivering construction projects at a much more efficient and effective and safer manner than ever before. So I'll just give you an example. There was a Punggol linkway, 160 meters linkway, that was supposed to be built within 3 years. It was built 9 months ahead of schedule. Okay, and this is never seen before. Okay, it is almost always the case in construction industry that there will be delays. But this time they cut short the time. Okay, so this is one of the example of the benefits that what BIM can bring to the industry. So many people think, okay, wow, digitization come already. The robots are going to take away my job. Okay, but it's not true. From the built environment employer perspective, I can tell you that the industry is still very hungry for skilled workers. What has changed is that the nature of the job has changed. The number of jobs haven't really changed. But there is a talent gap right here because we don't have enough people equipped with the latest skills to perform all these tasks. So with these technologies, what you will need as job seekers would be to hone the skills and learn unique capabilities that will make you stay relevant in the market for the next 5, 10, 15 years. So what are these skills? Okay, so I will talk to you more about it later on. And similarly, for companies in the built environment sector to want to progress, you have to be forward-looking and you need to adapt, and you need to make sure that your workforce is remain relevant. And AcePLP is one such company. At Ace, we invest in our employees a lot, and we are boldly walking forward, constantly hiring and developing. So just to give you an idea of numbers, okay, in 2016 we had only 80 BIM engineers. That's about the demand. Because the demand and supply, I have to balance it. If not, I will lose my job. Okay, because I'm handling HR in the company. Okay, so currently we actually have 190 BIM engineers, and still not enough. The industry want more. That's why I'm here today to share with you and hopefully interest you with a career in BIM. So where do you figure in this entire picture in terms of the built environment future? And how can you become part of the integral workforce? In 2018, the World Economic Forum identified 10 major disruptive technologies in the built environment. Technologies like prefabrication and modular construction have seen 57-story buildings in Changsha, China. You can go and YouTube it. In Changsha, 57-story building built in 19 days. Okay, and this is made possible because of prefab and BIM. You are able to model the building in a way that is ready for prefabrication. You are able to 3D print the building. Imagine 57-story building. You are actually printed the building out in parts, and then they transport it there, and then they stack it up like Lego. So just now there was a question, is it like Lego? Yes, it can be like Lego, and that's how a building can be so fast. Okay, and we also use cloud technologies to enhance collaboration across borders. So maybe certain places things can be done cheaper, so then we can collaborate across borders better using cloud technologies.
Sorry,
yes.
So fast, can you extend the
So far can. So far can. Okay, so and later I will explain to you why can. Okay, and BIM has enabled it to be possible. Okay, because the analysis is part of BIM as well. Okay, so instead of as-built drawings, for those of you in the construction sector for some time, you know the idea of as-built drawings to see at the end of it what does it look like. Okay, now we have live monitoring. We fly drones across construction sites. We do lifetime monitoring of the construction process. So if there are any inefficiencies going on, we solve the problem immediately. We don't wait until the end when everything piles up. And then that will cause construction delays that are worth millions. Okay? So and at the heart of all these technologies is actually BIM, building information modeling. You want to do AR, VR, you want to do prefab, you want to do 3D printing, all these the basis will be BIM. You need the BIM model from which you can do the rest of the task. So then what exactly is BIM, right? It basically means building information modeling. Is it entirely new? It's a new way of doing things, but it is not like something that is entirely novel. It is basically taking the traditional construction process and making it digitized and smarter way of doing things. So it's a collaborative process whereby all the parties in the project would use 3D design applications populated with data throughout the construction life cycle. So I will explain to you a little bit on why I say that the traditional construction process is still very much ingrained into BIM. Okay, it's because with the base model, 3D BIM, so we have the fundamental 3D model, okay, and then the build part comes in. We have 4D, 5D, and 6D BIM. So scheduling becomes part of BIM as well. So what we do is we have the traditional project planners who do the project timeline. We integrate that project timeline into the model, and we are able to see the construction sequence, build it virtually one time before it gets built on the ground. Okay, and then 5D BIM will be cost estimation. Using the model, they will do costing. Because you are also able to input data, what is the material, how much material, who are the supplier, how many alternative quotes you're going to get, all the information built into the model. Okay, and then just now the wonderful question about whether or not you can tahan the earthquake. 6D BIM. Okay, energy analysis, sustainability analysis, stability analysis. All types of analysis within the BIM model. So you no longer need a calculator and to press and calculate whether the stress load and all that. The BIM software does it for you. But when I say BIM software, I don't mean that BIM is a software. BIM is not a software. Okay, BIM, there are many software that has BIM capabilities, but BIM is actually a process. It's a way of doing things. And then finally, you have design, build, and facilities management. You operate and maintain, right? So 7D BIM is facilities management. In a building that is, say, 70 stories high, now you can build very fast, 70 stories. Okay, but how do you maintain it? Okay, so with that BIM model, you are able to, for example, I draw the structure of this room. I draw this room, and then the air conditions over here, when was it last maintained? Who was my last supplier? When do I need to do maintenance again? And then all the other details of maintenance of a building can be input into the model. Even so far as to make it like smart technologies, you instead of having a security guard, at night go to the central place and then you turn off all the switch one by one to shut down the building. What happens is you can just click of a mouse and then the parts turn off. You want to selectively turn off level 10 to level 20, the lights, okay, can turn off. It's using the BIM model. Okay. BIM can be used across disciplines for multidisciplinary design. So how this process starts is that first the architect creates the architectural BIM model. Okay, so you can see this is the design part. You're looking at the facade, it's very nice. And then after that, using the same model, the structural engineers start to work on it. They start to input the bones of the entire building. Okay, and then after they are done with this, they pass on to the M&E engineers to put in the services. The pipes, the plumbing, sanitary, fire protection, lift, and all that goes into the model. So what we see here is a merged model. Okay. So what we have here, the architectural model, then the structural model, the plumbing model, mechanical model, the electrical wires running through the building, and they are all merged into one model. Why is it important that it needs to be merged into one model? Clash detection. Okay, so gone are the days where you will have the structural engineer and the M&E engineer go into a site and then, hey, your column in the way of my services, you move your column can or not? Column can move or not? Column can move. So then the structural engineer will say, hey, my column cannot move, your M&E services move. But then when you move something, right, there is cost involved. So the M&E engineer will like, no, I don't want to move. Then this thing causes construction delay. Okay, so these are the kind of things that can be prevented before it actually happens if you merge the model. So like I said, BIM is not a completely novel way of doing things. It is basically the traditional construction process, but then we make it smarter. Okay. So Just now, I gave you examples of what 3D BIM is like, and now I'm going to give you an example of what 4D BIM is like. This is a project completed by BIM engineers that are trained by AcePLP and in collaboration with the LTA engineering team. This is the Punggol Coast Station, a Northeast Line extension project. And I can only play this to you because this project is over, it's completed. We have other ongoing projects with the Woodlands Health Campus and Ocean Health Campus, but we cannot show it to you now because still building. As with any project, right, the site offices are first set up, and then the area is being prepared for construction work. The construction process will follow the purple timeline bar at the top of the video. And the bottom left-hand side, you will see the construction sequence. Guide wall construction, excavation, rebar installation, casting, and installation of house. What we call 4D BIM. We will have to match the building elements of the BIM model to the construction sequence given to us by the project planners. What is unique about this project is the top-down approach to construction. With the 4D BIM capabilities, two different sets of developers were able to work on this project concurrently. So we have LTA building downwards and JTC building upwards at the same time. So LTA is basically having their excavators remove the earth layer by layer, while JTC build upwards. Now we add the furnishing and the finishes within the station to give it a more realistic view of what the actual station will look like. The lift installation goes up. For this station walkthrough, we use a different animation software to show how the people will interact with the environment. We were able to work with the camera angles and the positioning so that you get the full feel of what the entire station would be like when it's fully functional. So this video was actually completed by 10 of our BIM engineers trained within 1 year of training. Okay, in collaboration, of course, with the LTA engineering team. And in this project, because the LTA officers also required training, so we provided the BIM review training for their engineers in order for them to collaborate better with our BIM team, so they understand what we are doing. Okay. So some of the other projects that our engineers have participated in would be the Changi T4 and T5 projects, the Jewel. Okay. The phase 1 of the deep tunnel sewage system, the underground structures for the Jurong Lake District and Marina Bay area, as well as the Woodlands Health Campus. And should you come on board with ACE, you will also get a chance to be part of the North-South Corridor project, Jurong Regional Line, and Cross Island Line, and many more. Okay, there are many more projects upcoming. So with the digital transformation of the built environment sector, the only way to thrive in this constantly changing work environment will be to adopt the mindset of lifelong learning. Prior to this presentation, the representatives from WSG has actually already shared with you what eligible schemes that you may consider to help you become part of the integral future workforce in the built environment. Okay, and the great news is this: ACE is currently partnering WSG to offer built environment professionals like yourselves to upskill and reskill yourself through the BIM PCP. We are actually a BIM professional conversion program host company. Currently, we have about 2 engineers with us. One converted from a CAD drafter, and the other one was doing site engineer work. Okay, so if you are interested, we have a new intake every 2 weeks, and you may email your inquiries or CVs to me at cat@aceplp.com.sg or go to our website to find out more. So now the golden question: isn't everybody can do one? Can or not? I'll give you a very motivating story. Okay, I'll give you 2 motivating stories. We converted a taxi driver before PCP. This was before PCP time. Our company did it on our own PCP. Okay, we converted a taxi driver to an engineer. He previously held a degree in engineering, and then sometimes life is just hard, and then circumstances change, and then he became a taxi driver for many years. He came back to us. He said, I really want to do engineering again. So we got him on board, and then after completing the 26 months program, after completing the traineeship with us, he actually went on to join Bosch, the MNC, as a BIM engineer. Okay, another success story. This one, if you join our company, you will see him for yourself. Okay, he joined the company initially as a delivery driver, and then now he's our BIM trainer. Okay, he has won 4 years of best trainer award in the company. So you will get to see him for yourself if you manage to join the program. Okay, that's all from me for today. Thank you and have a great evening.